What's up, fellow scaries? Get it? Suzuki Carry Scary. Ooh. So I'm gonna be doing something a little unorthodox for OK Garage. We're gonna be doing some lifting. Ugh. Why don't we lower it? No, I'm kidding. I'm down with the lifts. I just like to lower my stuff. But this is a customer's Suzuki Carry. It's an 88, so it's a DB. Not a DD, but a DB 550cc 3-cylinder. They're all 3-cylinder. I don't know what I'm thinking. I mean Suzuki's. It's a 550cc, so a little bit smaller. So it'll be really interesting to see how this thing's going to react with lift. They lift bigger tires, heavier tires and wheels than what it's got right now. But it's super clean, so it's going to look really cool with this lift. And that's what he wants, so we're going to lift it. And I thought I would just make a video showing, you know, how to do it. I'm pretty sure these are the same as the DDs, the newer Suzuki Carries. Not going to be a whole lot difference. So if this is something that you're interested in doing, this video might help you. I don't know what I'm doing this for. But we got lift shackles for the back and spacers for the front. So I think it's like a 2-inch, 2-inch lift. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The stuff I have is from Muddy Bottoms. This is like no collaboration or nothing with Muddy Bottoms. That is just who has a kit for this. There might be other people, but Muddy Bottoms has a pretty good reputation, I think. So that's what I told this guy. I recommended he reach out to Muddy Bottoms, and here we are. We got stuff from Muddy Bottoms, and we got some wheels and tires. So let's go over what I got and kind of show you before what this truck looks like, and hopefully after, if it all goes smoothly. All right, so what do we got? I literally just opened up the package, so this is what was inside. Obviously these were wrapped up, so they weren't exposed like that. But we have the lift shackles with new bushings, polyurethane bushings. Those should be strong and pretty durable. But you can see Muddy Bottoms, boyito. So we got lift shackles. These are like spacers that are gonna go in between the shock and the body, so it's gonna push the suspension down. So that goes underneath. Here are the cool powder coated red lift springs. Totally a fan of red, so that'll look really cool. He has new struts or shocks for the back. Muddy Bottom, made in Malaysia, so you know they're good. So we got those. Obviously we got some stickers, very cool. A red Honda Acti. That looks like Oiwa's Honda Acti. And I believe there was like a plate. Where did that plate go? Oh, here it is. And this goes on the top, which I believe kind of adjusts the camber. So when we lift it, we can, you know, slide it in and out and fix that bow that will happen in the front when you lift it. So that will sandwich on top between the body, and then that goes on the bottom between the shock. I'm guessing that's how it goes. I haven't done this yet. There's no instructions, but I'm sure Muddy Bottoms probably has instructions online, or maybe even has a video, but we'll figure it out. He's got anti-seize. Oh man, that's awesome. He throws in anti-seize. I was gonna anti-seize anything I was doing back there anyways, but sick. He throws in anti-seize with that. Smart man. I got a ton of washers. So I think the hardest part maybe is just gonna be figuring out where all the hardware goes. So maybe I'll do some, if I get confused, I'll go online. I don't like instructions. I'll figure it out. But yeah, this is our box of goodies. And Muddy Bottoms mini trucks. That looks like, no, that's not Oiwa's truck. It just kind of looks like Oiwa's truck. Yeah, man, I'm stoked on this. shackle lube. I guess you could use anti-seize. I actually have polyurethane bushing grease. I'll probably just stick to putting this stuff on the bolts and stuff, but I actually have polyurethane grease that we'll throw in, that will go around the bushings and such, so then it, you know, doesn't squeak. But yeah, I'm sure you could use anti-seize as well, but I'll use my bushing grease. Yeah, let's, oh yeah, and here is the truck now. So it's on 14s, stock height 88. I really like that body style. He's got the 4CMs. We're gonna be running the 4CMs with 13-inch wheels, new ones. There was a mix-up on the tires, so there's actually, let's go see. The tires are, Boito just wants to be all up in the video today. So I got Midget here hanging on to the wheels and tires, but you can kind of see they look like they're black. Got some black wheels in there. I don't have a blade on me right now, but yeah, full wheels and tires. So I believe these came from Muddy Bottom, so you can get like everything from him. Wheels, tires, the whole deal. I'm not sure where he's getting them from, because these say Lucky's, or unless he didn't get these from Muddy Bottoms, or maybe Muddy Bottoms has a deal with somebody else. But yeah, I really like those 4CMs. They're super heavy though, so it'll be very interesting to see how this 550 reacts with the bigger tires or heavier tires. It's pretty, I mean, I did do a full tune-up on it, and I advanced the timing so it got like a little more power on the start, which changed a lot. But we'll see what happens when we put those heavier tires on there, because yeah, those suckers are super heavy. But yeah, let's get to it. So I think we're going to start in the back first, where that's going to be a little bit easier to just change the shackles and put the lift shackles on. The front is going to require a little more work because we got to actually take the suspension. So let's just start in the back with the shackles. So let's looks like 14 millimeters, and yeah, we'll see how the old bushings press out of the leaf springs and if we can press the red ones in. Okay, so I did go ahead and hit all the bolts with some penetration lubricant because stuff is going to be on there pretty good, I'm assuming. Let's just see if those bolts want to come out. That wasn't too bad. I think it was mostly the paint. There's a bunch of, they obviously they spray most of the cars with the undercoating or black paint. When you get your car from Japan, so there's just a lot of paint that you gotta get through. Well, that's off. I'm just gonna leave that on for now. A little support because we're gonna have to jack it up to get a load off of the leaves. Smoking. Set those aside. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we need to jack it up from the body so we can get the tension off of the leaf springs. Because we obviously don't want to jack up on the axle because it's just gonna push up on the leaf springs. We need to release tension so we can get those springs out. So let's find a good place to jack it up from. Okay, so I have it jacked up on the front part of the leaf spring, which is gonna release, you know, pressure on the back of it. So it would be better if I could get the body up, but I don't have like a lift. And this isn't a good spot to jack up on because that's really thin. It's kind of tricky. So let's see if I can tap it out. There we go. Okay. So yeah, trick is go on the front of the leaf spring, jack it up just before the back tire starts to come off the ground. So you've taken all the load off of that. And these bushings came out real easy. That one not so much. There we go. Now let's get the top ones out. All right, this thing's gonna look pretty pretty trick when it's done. I just hope it's not so slow it's not fun anymore. So here we go, baby shackles. And we'll, I think we'll go on and do the other side now. So let me get my other jack and then we'll work on that side. There we go. Okay. So now we'll take the old bushings out, which is nice. Muddy Bottoms provides new bushings because most of the time these are going to be rotted pretty bad. Okay. So again, we'll just set these aside. So let's just do a little side-by-side comparison. Well, I think we've ran into our first snag. I'll show you why, and so I'm probably gonna have to cut this video and then we're gonna maybe move up to the front. But here is the stock one. Here's Muddy Bottoms. So I mean, it's quite a difference. Now here's the problem that I am seeing right now. The top bushings, these bushings look like the size of the stock ones. This bottom one is huge. So obviously on the DDs, they upped the bushing size because it's massive. And the top and the bottom are the same size on the old shackles. So I'm gonna have to talk to Muddy Bottoms and see if we can get another set of just this size, because I'm sure these will work. We just need to get the correct size bottom ones. And yeah, this will end, and I'll either start working on the front or it'll continue when I get these other bushings. So yeah, bummer. See you later. Okay, so I actually just got off the phone with Muddy Bottoms, and I let him know that, so this is a 1988, it's a DB, it's different than the DDs, which are, you know, the newer generations, which is probably 89 or 90 and up. So they probably changed bushing sizes, which is totally normal. They change stuff throughout the years randomly. They always do that as they improve the design, whatever. So these ones are too big and they ain't gonna fit. There's no way. So I told Muddy Bottoms to send me a couple of these small guys, and I can send these big ones back to him, whatever. But I think in the meantime, just so we can at least keep moving and get stuff on here, I'll put 2 of the red polyurethane ones on and 2 of the better of the 2 black ones on. And then we can swap them out when he gets stuff here, but at least we can get the back end bolted up. So, hopefully we don't have any other issues with sizing. We shouldn't. They look like they're about the same. So what we need to do now is squish these bushings in, but I'm gonna get some polyurethane grease and squish them into the to the leaf spring itself. And then, yeah, then we'll take 2 of these. This is why you don't throw stuff out. I could have thrown this out like within the 5 minutes I did it, thrown this down the hill and never seen it again in my entire life. But that's why we hang on to stuff for, you know, it's like a hoarder mechanic mentality. You never know when you're gonna need it, you know? It's like hanging on to old wires. One day you're gonna need that wire and you're gonna be glad you threw it in that drawer you never look into. But let's try to pick the 2 of the better bushings. That one's pretty cracked, but this one isn't. Okay, I'm just gonna put some bushing grease in there and then we'll bolt those up. So I actually have a bunch of like high performance bushing lubricant from White Line, because I use their sway bar end links on the sandbars. So I got a bunch. That's good, that's good. But if you don't have any, you could certainly use the anti-seize that he provides you with. That will work as well. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna take them out anyways. I don't even know why I'm lubing them up. I'm gonna take these things out anyways. But just so you see. Put some lubricant on them. Let's do this, the red ones on the lowers. This just helps eliminate squeaking and like that with the stiff bushings. Polyurethane can get noisy. Okay, I'll do the other one. Okay, all right, so now we can put these in. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the ends in between the shackle and the bushing. And I'll put a little bit on the bolts when I install them as well. I'm gonna put the nut on the inside. Put some lube on that guy. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. Cool. Okay, so let's go do the other side, and then we will jack up the truck, which then will allow us to put the top on. And I'm proud to be an American. Okay, so now we can make sure that we got, okay. Now let's jack up the rear end and get some distance between the truck. Oh man, oh, that is like dead on. Oh, perfect. All right, what's up, Puito? So now we can get this bolt through and at least get this bolted up until we wait for the other bushing. So I'm going to tighten those up. I'm guessing those are standard, so maybe 3/4 inch. I think I said 3/4. That's pretty impressive. I don't work around standard bolts anymore. I used to all the time when I worked on big old cement mixer trucks, but that's been many years. All right, cool. So one side's on. Let's get this side. Let's get this side tightened up now. All right, cool. Now we can, holy cow, that's huge. Take the shocks, take the jacks out. Woo! He's sitting all stink bug now. Let's take a look at the stink bug. Okay, so now that the rear shackles are done, let's just move up to the front and put the spacers on and the new springs. Oh man, I need to get it together. And since we're gonna be back here, let's put the new wheels on. So let's finish up the back completely and then we'll move up to the front. So let's put that rear shock in, let's put the wheels on, and then we'll move up to the front. Okay, so sorry you can't really see, but you get the idea. Here's our shock right here. We're gonna be taking this off. So we got a 12 and a 12. Hopefully this suspension will work with it's the same as the DD. Because again, that kit's kind of more geared towards a DD and not really a DB, but it's totally fine. Muddy Bottoms is now aware of that after I talked to him. So he shouldn't run into that issue in the future, which is a very minor issue. You could literally reuse your old bushings. It doesn't matter. It's still going to work. But let's hope the shocks are the same. So it's a 12 mil, and we don't have to worry about where the suspension is on this because they're just shocks. They're not going to do anything. You don't need to take a whole lot of pressure off them because they're just gas. So 12 and a 12, and then we'll take that off. Let's take these off. Hopefully the jack's not in the way. So he does provide new washers in the kit. So we'll use the new washers with the new shocks. And we'll be putting anti-seize on these bolts. This stuff sees a lot of water and rust. So in case we got to take them off in the future, we can do that if we put anti-seize on them. Ay, ay, ay. Come here, bendejo. All right. Let's see if we can get these. Ah, there we go. So obviously pay attention to your washers. There's a bigger diameter washer and a smaller diameter washer. It's got it labeled in the bag that says shocks. So our bigger diameter is gonna go on first because it's got to go over the post. And then our smaller diameter goes on the outside because it's just a stud, a threaded stud eventually. I'm gonna have to cut this guy. Let's put the muddy bottom sticker out. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, barely. There's a red sleeve in it. It kind of wants to push it off. Be sure to push it back on because we want that sleeve. Then we put the smaller diameter hole washer on, and I'm gonna get some anti-seize. We'll put that on the threads, and then we'll put the bolt with the lock washer. Or is that a lock washer? Yeah, we'll bolt with the lock washer back. Gosh dang it. Hey! Cut it out. You guys are gonna fight. You can't be here. There's no fighting allowed. All right, so that one is in. Yeah, that was pretty easy. So I won't show the other side, but just make sure. There we go, make my brain work. You have an inner and an outer washer, different diameters, so make sure you install the right one. Bigger, obviously, on the inside, smaller diameter washer on the outside. Same goes with the bottom, you can't really see it. But I'm just gonna do the other side, not record it, but you obviously get the idea. Make sure you install. Man, why do I have so many veins in my head? What's going on? But yeah, make sure the inner one is a large diameter hole. The outer is the smaller diameter hole. Don't get that mixed up because I can see somebody screwing that up. And then I just reused the bolts and lock washer that I pulled off. So yeah, I'm gonna just do the other side real quick now and not record it because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But I got some visitors, all the peepees. Here's my used to be canvas tarp, blew away in the wind the other day, and then I got a new one and 89 bucks on Amazon, man, that's cheap. And it's canvas, so hopefully it lasts longer than the tarp. But all the peepees love to hang out down there. All right, be right back. Oh man, so huge bummer. I was making a video doing the wheels and tires, but then I realized they're not gonna fit over this hub. So that's why, it's not this guy's fault. He hasn't even seen the truck in person. It was sent here straight from the port for me to service. So there can be some stuff that's confusing for sure. If you're new to the whole K game and finding wheels for your K car, it's very important you get wheels that have the correct hub bore. Those wheels are super cool looking. Lucky Dog, bummer, they're not gonna work because the hub bore is not big enough. It's got to be at least 76 millimeters to fit over this locking hub up here. Oh, that's such a bummer, Puito. So I'll cut that out of the video, but just kind of put this in the video so you're aware. It's very important to check your hub, what your hub bore size needs to be. But these are pretty sick looking wheels from Lucky Dog Wheel Company. I love the 4Sims. Obviously, I've had those in the past. Patito likes them too. So super cool wheel. They just don't fit. The backs are okay because there's no hub to go around. It's flat. But if this was a 2-wheel drive, we'd be okay. But it's a 4-wheel drive, so we got locking hubs. Hopefully he can send these wheels back, or he can sell them because they're brand new and they're just not going to work. Because that hub bore is muy tiny. So, such a bummer, dude, because these were cool looking wheels. Okay, well, anyways, rear shocks are on the back, shackles are installed. Let's get cracking on the front. I'm really tired because I'm not feeling good, so this may be a part 2, but I'll see what I can do for the front, depending on how much work there is. I did get the NGK blue plug wires from Japan, so I'll get those installed with the cap and rotor. This thing's gonna be all super dialed because I already did timing and spark plugs and valve cover gasket. I did so much work to this Suzuki. It's just been one thing after another with tires and wheels. Now the wheels aren't fitting. Oh man, the joys of owning a K car and all the little things you learn. So anyways, let's move on to the front. Okay, so let's start working on the front. Obviously I got it jacked up and I took the wheel off. That should be a no-brainer. I did put some penetration lubricant inside there to kind of hopefully break it up while I'm messing with everything else. But yeah, we got to take the whole thing off and then we'll compress it, pull the strut hat off, and put the muddy bottom shock on, which will be cool because it's red. Hopefully everything fits because again, this is a DB and hopefully we're the same as a DD. But anyways, let's start taking stuff off. Okay. Nut and a washer. There we go. Old rusty bolt came out, okay. And we'll put this together with our, this is the steering knuckle bolt, you know, the squeeze it together. Squeeze around the shock. Okay, so now we have to, oh, it's already coming out. Sweet beans. I thought it was going to be a pain in the butt to get out. This little tab is what is like your alignment tab, it's essentially. So it's welded to the shock. I thought this came off. I thought it was just holding it in place, but you'll unbolt that. So then once you go to put the shock back in, you can get the correct alignment and bolt it back into the steering knuckle. And it's actually coming out pretty good, easily. So I am going to unbolt the top so we can drop it down and then hopefully be able to pull it outwards a little bit and then pull it up out of the steering knuckle. Up on top, what you're gonna see are the strut hat bolts, strut mount, strut hat, whatever. They look like 12s, so let's pop those off. Cue. There it goes. All right, so, oh, good. They repaired the boot on here with, oh, freaking locking hub just fell off. They repaired the inner CV boot with some gasket sealer, so that's exciting. Now the hub fell off. They gotta get that back on there. Gosh, everything's falling apart. Okay, let's get the shock out. Oh no, I still have to get the brake cable off. Let's do that. Oh man, they repaired both CV axle boots with... oh well. Hopefully I don't rip the boots. Let's get the brake line clip out so you can use like a pry bar. You can use a ply bar. I was trying to think of pliers. Pry bar or some pliers. Pull that clip out. And then we can get the brake cable off of the brake cable off of the shock. In theory, there we go. There we go. Okay, so here's our shock. That's very easy to remove. Oh, there's a spider in there. Cool. What's up, Mr. Spoder? Are you from Japan, Spoder, or did you just take refuge in here in the coming days? How about you get gone? Don't worry, guys, I'm not killing him. I'm just trying to send him on his way. So then he'll later probably bite me. Yeet! Get yeet! Get, ooh, babies. Sorry, brother. No procreating here. Okay, so, oh man. Hopefully I didn't just rip the boot. That would suck. Nope. I'm gonna get my jack under it. I'm gonna bring my jack up here. Put some tension on it so it's not falling down all the way. Which, I guess once we lift it, it might end up ripping the boot because it's going to put those CV axles at an angle it's probably not going to like. But hey, if that's what if you want to lift, that's what you have to expect, is you might rip some CV axle boots. You got to pay to play. It's all good. So now what we do is, since we have to take this thing apart, I gotta get this. Take the Suzuki cap off. There we go. And then, oh man, there's a bolt in there. I gotta take this shock apart, and I gotta get my spring compressor. We'll compress it, and then take the strut hat off. Take the coil mount out of there in this plastic sheath doohickey, and then we'll put the red coil spring in there. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure that they're the same size, because there's been some differences already. Okay, I'm not really going to show the process of how to take a shock apart. I think that's pretty straightforward. Get yourself a good set of compressors, coil spring compressors. These are old school. I've had these from my dad forever, so I don't know if you'll even find something like this. But essentially, you just need coil spring compressors. You're going to compress it, and then once you have it compressed, then you can take the bolt out off the top. Do not take that off unless it's compressed, or you're going to have yourself a little landmine here. Yeah, I'm tired and I don't feel like filming right now, but you get the idea. If you're taking shocks apart, compress it. We'll take this apart, and then we'll put the new coil on, and then we'll bolt it all back together and I'll just show how to reinstall everything. There she is. So red coil spring, which is probably gonna just be a little bit stiffer than the stock. since I was rebuilding it, I used like a synthetic grease where the strut bearing plate deal is, so it can turn and it'll kind of keep it quiet. So anyways, we're going to get this guy bolted up now, and I'll show you, you know, how the plate goes on. Get this guy in its location. Bingo. So let's put all the bottom together. We'll get that all tightened up, and then we'll move our way up to the top. Okay, and then we'll put the steering knuckle bolt in. I'm actually gonna put anti-seize on this one, and it wouldn't hurt either just to put anti-seize on the base of your shock too, inside the steering knuckle, so it's easy to remove that again at some point. But that was awesome. Muddy Bottoms threw that in there. Super appreciative of any kind of anything like that. It's just handy to have, not just for this job, but you know, all the future jobs to come. Anti-seize is good to have. He's looking out for your future frustrations. Get the brake back in there, and then we'll put the clip back in to hold it in place. Kind of tap it with a hammer. Just tap it in there. Okay, so now we're going to, I should have actually done this before, but let's, it don't matter. Let's put the top spacer on now. I guess I should have done that before bolting it up. There's a learning first time for everything. I need a light over here though, because holy frack, I can't see. Okay, so I guess before doing all this, you should probably put this guy on. It might be easier. Okay, so let's take our old hardware we had and bolt the spacer on to the top of the shock. Get that nice and snug. I need a 1/2 inch ratchet, but let's just get these threaded in so it's, you know, a washer on top and a washer on bottom. I've never seen this system installed before, so I'm kind of learning as I go here. I'm taking hopefully common sense and using it, and we'll see what happens. No, I'm kidding. It's not that difficult to figure out. Come on. I'll bring you in closer in a minute here so you can get a better idea when I get these bolted up here. Okay. Let me bring you in so you can see a little bit up close as to what's happening. I'm getting anti-seize everywhere, so it's a curse and a blessing that I got that sent to me. Okay, fisheye, here we go. I was saying earlier that plate probably sandwiched on top of the body. It does not. It goes underneath. This is the first time I've installed this thing, so I'm learning as I go. But we're going to bolt this plate up using his hardware. So these locking style nuts with washers, that is going to bolt up there. That slot is what's going to allow us to take this shock and move it in and out to get us the camber, because it's going to be all bowed if we didn't have a camber adjustment. So as you can see, there's our hole up there. So it's threaded on the top, and these big old suckers right here, these grade 8 bolts, there's going to be held with a lock washer and a washer up on top, so then we can adjust our camber. So yeah, so I'm just bolting this plate up right here, and then once it's all bolted up, then we can finish putting up the shock. But I just wanted to get you a better close look. But you can take this thing out of the way. I'm doing everything difficult, of course, because I'm learning as I go here. And now we just have complete access. So these are 1/2 inch. Let's get those all tightened up. Okay, so my plate is all bolted up in there. And you could use Loctite, but you really don't need to, because these are those like locking nuts that are pretty hard to break free. But now we are ready to bring the shock up, and then we'll put the big old bolt in it. I love being sick. It's so awesome. Actually, being sick is good because it makes your immune system stronger. Unpopular opinion. So right now, I think I'm just going to, I'm gonna just push it all the way over. I'm gonna need, that's like a 7/8 maybe, or a 3/4. I need me as a 3/4 inch socket. I need me as a 3/4 inch socket. Sorry, I start talking a lot when I'm tired and crazy. So there's like the slot that goes back and forth. I'm putting the washer right at the edge of the slot, not the bolt. I'm using the washer right at the edge, so it disappears right underneath it. That makes sense. I think that'll be a good starting spot. And then if it is good, we can then mark it. I wish I could see what I'm doing. That would be fantastic. This spring is slightly, there we go. That makes me feel a lot better. That spring wasn't sitting right there in its little pocket, but now we are. I hope I didn't scratch my ring. All right, so there you go. That one side is done. That was tightened. That was tightened. Our brake cable is put back on. This is all tight. Everything's good. So we can do the other side. I won't film it because we saw this side. It's going to be the same as the other side. But I will circle back when I have it all done, and then we'll do an end video showing the truck lifted, unfortunately without the wheels because they don't fit. So the wheels don't fit over these locking hubs, which is a bummer. So we're gonna have to figure that out, but at least we got the lift on and the wheels work for now. We got the shocks, the lift shackles, and these rebuilt. And then we'll do like a little test drive after and see how it feels. So let me get cracking on the other side, and then we'll do a little end video to see how it looks. There she is, the lifted Suzuki Carry. I'm gonna back it up and drive it back in to see if the front end will settle down, because we're looking Cali lifted, man. Cali lifted, Carolina squat, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. We're all donked out. That front is so much higher. Hopefully it settles down. Let's see what happens here. Man, it feels like it's 100 o'clock, but it's only like probably 5. I don't like the darkness. I don't like that sound either. It's like nails on a chalkboard. All right, let's start up the whopping 550 cc's of massive power. Woo! Turn that off. I still got to do spark plug wires, cap and rotor on this thing. We'll do that tomorrow. But let's see if I can get the front to settle. Let's see. Let's take a look. Take a gander. Wow. Oh man, that would look so much cooler if we could put the wheels and tires on here. I'm gonna go scoot it around my yard real quick. I'm gonna go scoot it around in the back. So I'm gonna set this up here. Let's do, what's fisheye? Nope. You'll be able to hear my voice. I'm gonna be driving in this thing. I wanna get the front end to squish down. Monster trucking. Woo! Skibbity toilet. Dang. I think it just looks extra crazy because we have the like low profile 14-inch wheels and tires. It's doing pretty good. Front end isn't falling off, so that's a plus. There goes spark plug wires. Let's go bring it back inside and see if the front end is squished down a little bit. All right, there she is, the 1988 DB71, I think it is DB71T Suzuki Carry lifted. I think the fronts will settle down a little bit, or it's got the heavy tires in the back, so it's giving it a little bit of a squat, but very cool. A little bit of hindsight. The strut hat or strut mount bolts. So I haven't had issues with the adjusting the camber, but you flip these bolts over and put the heads in here. I mean, I kind of knew to do that because I've seen that guys say, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't adjust it because it hits the bolts." But I had it adjusted all the way over without, them being in the way. So you can flip them. You can put these facing up and have the head down here. So whatever works. But this seems to work. And let's see about the camber. Totally forgot. It looks like, yeah, it looks like I could adjust them out a little bit, which would definitely not, oh, I hate that sound. Let's see here, I want straight. I could definitely adjust them out. I went in too far, so they're a little bowed in on the top side. So I'm totally clear of those bolts. But if you are putting this lift kit on and you put the bolts in and they're hitting the strut hat, just flip them over. I mean, it's common sense, but I just put them in here this way because it fit, and I like it better because I don't want the studs poking up in the cab. Not that that matters, you won't see them, but yeah, I asked Muddy Bottoms. He's like, yeah, you can flip them over if it's hitting the strut hat. But I'm clear, I'm not hitting it, and even I won't be anywhere near them now because I'm gonna adjust them out a little bit because they're way in right now. So if I just am out, then I'm totally clear of the bolts. But man, that's such an easy lift to install. He does make a video on it, so you can check out Muddy Bottom's website, and he's got a YouTube of it. So obviously it's probably way more in depth than mine. But if you just wanted to see a 88 Carry get a lift, I'm so bummed we couldn't put the wheels and tires on it, because that would have looked so sick. But they just didn't fit, and I could have bolted up the back ones, but I didn't want to scratch the wheels just in case he could return them and then hopefully find one that fits the hub, the locking hub up front. So that's why I didn't put them on. I could have put the back one on just to see what it would look like, but I didn't want to actually put the lug nuts in and scratch it up. But cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Pretty cool carry. Getting some love. Like I said, I'm gonna do spark plug wires on it next, the blue NGKs, cap, and rotor, and then pretty much everything's been done except for, I think, the fuel filter. I'll figure that out because they don't make that fuel filter anymore for that old carry. But yeah, this isn't a video on something I'm selling, so this is a video on something somebody else sells. So check out Muddy Bottoms if you want to get a lift for your Carry or your Acti or your Subaru sandbar. He's got Subaru sandbar lift kits, and I think he's got adjustable top hats, so I think you can adjust the camber. So check out his website, Muddy Bottoms. Muddy Bottoms. Let me just make sure I'm saying it right. Of course, I lost all the stickers and stuff. Oh, Muddy Bottom Mini Trucks. Not bottoms. Mini Bottom Mini Trucks. He's got lifts, he's got wheels and tires, he's got everything. So if you want to go up, check out his website. If you want to go down, I can help you get lowering springs. But very cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you feel like it. Check out Muddy Bottom again. If you want to lift, and his YouTubes on how to install it if you got questions, because I didn't really get super in depth how to do it. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm not sure what the next one's gonna. Oh, I did a shift knob on a Subaru sandbar, so I think I'm gonna finally put that video together, just in case you want to get a shift knob and you're not entirely sure how to remove your old one. I'll have a video on how to do that next, or soon. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. I will see you all on the next one, and I gotta go put all my ducks away. All right.